Hey guys, my name is Matimio, and welcome to another episode of Sunday Mailbox. This is a video series where you can submit your gaming or Battlefield 3 related questions, and then I will give my opinion on them. If you would like to submit your own question that could be featured in an upcoming episode, you can do so by either leaving a comment down below or by sending me a YouTube message. So the first question for today comes in from Mauer, who asks, with the announcement of the Dropship being in the endgame expansion pack, what would you like to see from it or for it to be? So there really hasn't been much information released about the Dropship. All we really know right now is that it's going to drop vehicles for your allies, which is a really cool concept. I've always wanted that to be in Battlefield, having the option to, have a vehicle that can drop a tank or a jeep or something behind enemy lines so that you can flank your enemy and catch them by surprise. Is just a really cool concept. But we don't really know right now if it's going to resemble something like the current Dropship, where it's just going to roam around in a giant circle and instead of rain death down upon everyone, it will just drop vehicles to your allies, or is it going to be a controlled pilotable vehicle like a jet, but just very slow? I'm more inclined for the latter because I think that it would give a lot more control to the players, and then they could actually perform those flanking maneuvers that I was talking about earlier, which I just think would be awesome. It would be so cool to pull that off, but it would come with some consequences because if it is pilotable, first of all, it would probably be very boring just to fly that thing around very slowly around the map, dropping vehicles. But also, if the person in it sucks, or they just want to troll their team by crashing it constantly, or by dropping vehicles on the fringe of the map where no one has access to them, then it becomes a problem. And that tool that should have been used to help your team win is not available, and it could lead to your team losing. But on the flip side, you have, if it was just like the gunship where it just moves around the map slowly, then pulling off those flanking maneuvers would probably be harder. It would give less control to the players, and so I'm not really sure what I think. I still think I would like it to be pilotable, but I would love to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments below. So the next question for today comes in from Anthony, who asks, regarding the question with abusive server admins, what are your thoughts on the ability to rate a server? When you leave a server, you would have a choice to rate your experience. Yeah, absolutely. I think that this is a fantastic idea. And if some of you are kind of confused where this question is coming from, last week's Sunday Mailbox, I talked about abusive server admins and how it's really frustrating when you're going on an awesome kill streak, you're kicking ass, and then all of a sudden you knife the admin, and then they get pissed off at you for some random reason, and then they kick you. It's frustrating when that happens, and I think that this idea would really hold those servers and those admins accountable, because if you would do this and you do it to a lot of people, the rating on your server is going to be low and no one's going to want to join it, and eventually your server isn't going to be populated. And on the flip side, if your server is, you have great admins, they're nice, you have great games, everyone's playing the objective, you get rid of hackers as soon as possible, people are going to rate those servers really high, and what's going to happen is that those servers are going to be popular, people are going to gravitate towards them, it's going to create communities. I mean, already right now, you probably have your favorite, you have that favorite button for a reason, you have your favorite servers, and you've probably met some friends on there. But I think that this would extend that even further and create even larger communities, simply because everyone would know what the great servers are, and they would want to flock towards them. And I think that's a really awesome thing, and I would love to see that. On the flip side, though, this could have some negative aspects to it. One of them that comes to mind is if you want to create a server for yourself, trying to get people to populate that server could be quite challenging. Because of a rating system, everyone's going to flock towards, of course, the established servers. But you're not an established server, and so trying to get people to go there, I can see that where that would become an issue. But overall, besides that, that little side note, I think that this would hold server admins accountable. It would create better communities, and overall just be a really good idea that I would love to see implemented even for Battlefield 3 or just for future Battlefield titles. So the final question for today comes in from Patrick, who asks, I'm a console guy, and I kind of get a little disheartened at having to capture a flag, walk away, and having them being capped again. It seems like a vicious cycle. I'm thinking that the flags will have a certain cooldown, for lack of better words, or make it harder or longer for the enemy team to cap the flag that you just captured. I was just wondering what you think on this topic. So I, like you, get just as annoyed when after I take an objective, I go off to go kill an enemy, or I go off to take another objective, that the point that I just captured is being taken by the enemy team. And while it's frustrating, you have to remember that that's what makes conquest conquest. I mean, that's kind of the name of the game. It's about offense and defense, and if you're always playing offense, then of course people are going to go back and try to capture those objectives, and that's really how that game mode works. And if you get frustrated by the enemy team going back and doing so, then you should make an effort to defend the objectives more. And it's really, I mean, that's how I play. You know, sometimes I will just run all over the place. I'll just be very aggressive. I'll just try to capture as many points as I can. But then other games, I'll try to mix it up. I'll be like, oh, okay, I think that the enemy is going to be heading on over to C, or I see a lot of people spotted off in the distance. They're heading on over to the forest on Caspian border. I'll make an effort to go defend that. And it's that type of decision making that I think is important for a first-person shooter and for Battlefield. And if all you're doing is just mindlessly roaming around the map and expecting that the points that you just captured to stay captured, I don't want to say is naive, but it's just not what the game mode is. And you really should try to play the defensive role as well. So no, I don't think that your idea is needed for Battlefield. I think that you just need to kind of approach these game modes a little bit differently. But yeah, guys, those are all the questions I'm going to be answering for today. I would love to know what you guys thought about these 3 topics. Let me know down below in the comment section. But if you guys enjoyed today's video or just want to support my channel, I always appreciate it when you give my videos a rating, and if you haven't already, subscribe for more. But until next time, guys, have a good one and take it easy.